They would buy, shit food with their food stamps, and then they put their cartons of cigarettes and their booze up there and pay for that with their cash.
Yep.
It's like, all right, so that's a third of my paycheck right there. Just, buying your Twinkies. Because there's no, other than alcohol and like tobacco, there's really no block on things you buy with food stamps. So,
When did we go live?
It just started automatically.
Yeah, you're so full of shit.
So you guys have been talking on. Remember that this is a little insight on what people hear us talk about when we're not usually on air. But let's continue the conversation, and then we'll start hit or miss.
I'm done with that conversation. Let's go ahead.
No, we need to continue this conversation.
I have the right to a lawyer, and I have the right to remain silent.
There you go.
Plead the fifth.
You can only plead the fifth when it's facing the government.
What are you going to do? Come over here and make me talk?
Waterboard you.
Yeah, exactly.
But you did join hit or miss, so I'm just saying.
Smeggy. Smeggy. Chat Dodger.
He wasn't on the Daily Gun Show today, was he?
No, and I submitted a really cool picture for the Daily Show challenge, and they didn't get to vote on it because he wasn't there, and that's apparently Smeggy's thing. So I think they're gonna try to do it tomorrow.
Okay, so on the side chat, we on YouTube, we got maybe this time you'll get 1,000 downvotes. And while you say you're kidding, I'm not too sure. But why don't we cover some of that, okay? To those that listen to the video and actually have listened to the video and not just gone and downvoted, if you're gonna downvote the video, make a comment and tell us why. Because how the hell do we know what you do or do not like if you don't say a damn fucking word? Because that annoys me. 100 downvotes, but nobody said a goddamn thing. Quiet as the grave. Just saying. If you're gonna downvote, tell us why.
That's a good point.
Tell us why. If you've got a better idea or you have a suggestion so that we can do something better, tell us. How the hell are we gonna know how to do it right, or how to
There's too much bitching. I'm down.
how to run a good show without constructive criticism?
I gave you a thumbs up.
So my point is, I was annoyed that I got 100 and something downvotes, and I only got like 40 something upvotes. And the fact is, not a single one of them said anything why they did it. If you don't like something we say, if you don't like the topic we're talking about, if you want us to talk about something else, well, the only thing to do is to send us a fucking email or a comment on the video and say so. It's not rocket science. Or if you don't understand that, okay, it's not rocket surgery. Okay? Okay?
Just don't feed the trolls.
I think you just had a little mob mentality going on there. People thought it would just be funny to see, how many downvotes they could possibly create for you. And
well,
this is wrong.
So Smeggy is off tonight, so tonight I guess we're gonna start hit or miss, so I'll just do the whole Smeggy thing. Boop 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 doo 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 doo. Da 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 da. Boop 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 boop. Da 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 da. Boop 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 boop. There we go.
I got a trumpet. We could try to jazz it up next week.
Ooh, there you go.
You get the trumpet. Smeggy will get the drums. If we can get someone to get the guitar out, Travis, I know you got a guitar somewhere.
I have one.
Yeah, I've got one. Yeah.
We'll get a rock band together around here.
We could do that. Get some bongos.
Start the hit or miss band.
Yep. There you go.
I ain't joining a band called Hit or Miss.
Actually, that's a cool name for a
you
band.
joined the podcast Hit or Miss. So
that's true. Well, technically, it's not official till 9 o'clock, so I got 3 minutes to ditch.
You're not going to ditch. Okay, but
don't push me.
All right, I won't push you. I will let you fall off by yourself.
Okay.
You know, that reminds me of those what is it, trust videos where you have to catch the people.
Yeah.
You know, it's to build trust and teamwork and whatnot. You know, no, I'm gonna let you fucking fall. You're on your own, dude.
Alrighty. So, what topics would y'all like to discuss?
All right. So, welcome all to Hit or Miss. I'm Night Strike, and I have a wide variety of panel tonight. You know, I got a couple people jumping in. We might get some more people later. I don't know if we'll get a drive-by Smeggy with the with his microphone to redo the intro, or if anybody else is going to jump in.
The drive-by Smeggy, does that come with the morning after pill or no?
No, with the drive-by Smeggy, you're pretty much screwed. If you don't use protection before he comes,
oh my god.
God.
Okay, that was enough of that.
Say a drive-by Smeggy usually leaves you wet and a little bit frostbite.
Oh man.
And probably,
Maybe some hypothermia thrown in there.
Hypothermia with lead poisoning.
And a rash.
Oh, we don't talk about the rash. It's not his.
Rich.
It's not his fault.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Anyways, I'm going to introduce my panel out that we have showed up tonight. We got Matt from North Carolina. What's going on, Matt?
Hey. Thanks for the invite.
And then we've got our friend from Rick. You're in Rhode Island, right?
Right. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. No problem. And then we have Tino from down south in the deep south, Florida.
I don't think Florida's the deep south, but hey, how's everybody doing?
It's about as south as you can get in the United States.
That is true.
Well, I mean the Keys too, but it's Florida Keys. Just
That
saying.
is true.
But
thanks
all
for
right.
having me. I appreciate the invite.
No problem. Then there's Travis P11. What's going on, Travis?
Hey, everything's going good, man. Appreciate the invite, and just want to plug my little Caliber Corner podcast that we do on Saturday mornings over on YouTube and gunchannels.com, 8 a.m. Central Time. We'll be taking probably 2 weeks off, and then we'll be back probably for the rest of the summer after that. So got family coming down, so we're going to be a little busy.
I may start joining that because I've been getting a little.
You mean
Yeah.
we're not doing it next week? This week?
No, we're taking 2 weeks off. We're actually going to do a discussion on reloading.
Oh man.
No, it'd be just reloading 101, man. If you want to do 9 and 5.56, what do you got to know? So I'm going to try to line up a few of our gun channels family experts here that come in.
So what date are we aiming for?
It's not going to be this Saturday or the following Saturday. It would be the Saturday after. So 2 weeks. Yeah, I can't. I've got a wedding one Saturday. They're going to be doing pictures during the podcast. I don't think my family would appreciate it.
Married?
No, I got a cousin getting married. It's the only cousin I have on my mom's side, so it's kind of a big deal.
So you'll
All
be
right.
ready at 24.
I'm gonna go and say hello to our crew out there. So AC97, good to see you. And thank you for showing up on the YouTube side. Scott Pacini, thank you for jumping in. Al W, I see you out there. I also see you on gun channels too. Al's double dealing tonight. We got AWAG 1000. Hey AWAG. Who else we got out there? We have Cycle Camp. Cycle Camp, you're already on gun channels. What the hell? He's also double dealer. We got Dan W out there, and who else? Do we have anyone else? Nope. We got Raphael is doing the gun channels and YouTube as well. And we have Holy Master D out there too. Hey, Holy Master D, how's it going? So we have a whole bunch of characters out there on the YouTube side. Up! Watch out! Protect your windmills. Don Quixote from Texas has jumped in. So watch out! Protect your windmills.
I thought Don Quixote was in Spain. He's from Texas.
Well, he's and Link Hyrule 03 just jumped in. Hey, Link, how's it going? All right, so that's who we got out on the YouTube side. On the gun channel side, we have we got Al, Cycle Camp, we have Too Hottie, we have Clay, Mr. Knives, we got the Pants, we got G-Webs, Ohio 45 ACP, and Arctic Fire are watching on the gun channel side. Thank you all for watching and jumping in. or jumping into the chat and talking. So
So it's like the Dirty Dozen.
Knives is already getting angry at me, saying, "Fuck you, Night Strike." Well,
For what?
so, if I could say it in Spanish, Knives, I would say it right back at you, my friend. Right back at you.
I can help you with that.
He's
but,
stuck in California.
Well,
You left him.
Travis, I know you're trying to be the nice thing, but Travis, could you just say it for Knives in Espanol?
I got to keep it G-rated over the air when I'm live. I could have students watching right now. I don't want them to use that stuff in class the next day.
Oh, but we got you with the whole EBT thing. Come on.
Yeah.
That's why I can play.
Those parents aren't going to be watching Hit or Miss tonight. I can tell you that.
You don't know that. You don't know that. I've got interesting fans, so.
All right.
Maybe I'll type it over there on the gun channel side, and then I'll just say, "Hey, this is from Night Strike. I want you to know." And then,
AWAG, don't worry about it. Smeggy isn't that vindictive, he doesn't care that much. So, don't worry about it, AWAG. All right, tonight we're gonna talk about a whole ton of stuff. What do you want to get to first, guys? Travis, didn't you say you had an announcement you wanted to get through? So why don't we get that announcement
this
first?
is kind of interesting here. What it is, all right, and I'm not just trying to promote a friend's video because he pointed something out that I'm starting to notice on my pistol too. There's a lot of people that have the Taurus PT-111 G2s, and I've been a big fan of mine. I got family members that own them. Let me get my camera on here real quick. I need to remove the slide here. If you've done, well, just keep it. There's a part you need to keep an eye on.
Turn the camera on first.
I am. We're getting there. All right. So you got your gun. All right, we're clear. What you want to do, what it is Jay Dalton has got a channel over on YouTube, and he and I both did the Lakeline LLC modifications with the stainless steel guide rod. And he's done 200 rounds through his. I've done 200 rounds through mine, but he's put a ton more rounds just with his original factory guide rod spring combo. And what he noticed on his, you've got your front lugs here, your front rails that your slide goes on. Okay, I try to block the light or whatever. Anyway, if you push up on your slide stop on this side, and those front lugs go up, you've got an issue because those should be locked into the frame really tight. His are moving like a quarter of an inch, if not more. Mine barely go anywhere, but I haven't put as many rounds through my gun, so he doesn't know if it's a result of using a all steel guide rod where the Taurus version is polymer on the front and steel on the shaft. So we don't know if this is causing a problem with vibration or it's too rigid, but it might be causing excessive wear in the frame. And I mean, I'm using this part because supposedly there had been issues with the factory part locking up, and it can skip a coil off the back and cause the gun to lock up. So I thought, well, I'd rather take a chance on this, but now this could be destroying my gun. And since it's an aftermarket part, it's probably not going to be covered under warranty. So if you own a G2, just be really careful and keep an eye on those front rails because there's a lot of people buying them because they're about a sub $250, compact pistol. So that's it.
Let me ask you, that pin that's right under those two front lugs, is that holding those lugs in?
Oh, yeah, and mine is actually perfect in there. And I think they said it's got it might have like an oblong egg shape. So if you reassemble, because see, he did a full disassembly of his gun, trigger group and all, and took it out. And when you put that pin back in, it might have to go a certain direction. Mine's fine. What I'm thinking is maybe his pin, I don't know if he's taken it off since he put it in, but maybe the pin has a crack or something in it.
Or maybe the pin broke.
Or the pin broke. And that's what's causing that.
Hopefully he'll do a follow-up video on it because, yeah, he did take it apart and reassemble it. I mean, he did a total he actually shows how to do a trigger job on the pistol. And that pin could be polymer. It might be a one-time use pin,
Or you know what could be happening if that pin is actually metal. You know what could happen? The pin might have bent.
Could be because you're saying it's moving as much as it's moving. There's no way that frame can get stretched that much without cracking to let it move as much as you're saying your friend's is moving.
When I push up on you're not gonna be able to see it here, but when I push up on my slide stop, the back of the rails just barely, like maybe an eighth of an inch, they tilt up as I push up on the slide stop, and I don't know if that's because the spring is located there and it's pushing up on those lugs. So I'm just saying, if you've got one and you put a lot of rounds through it, if you've done that after, or if you put a Lakeline guide rod unit in it, or maybe a Galloway, you want to make sure that you're careful. So yeah.
Arctic Fire over there on the Gun Channel side is saying, his pinholes might have ovaled out.
That could be also. That was going to be my next thing, saying maybe the pinhole
That might be why it's doing that.
the
But
way loose.
it could be a number of reasons, but that is good to know. So if anybody's having those problems, because they changed the guide rod. Look at you, Travis.
I wonder if
And
there's anything on the Taurus forum about
doesn't want to get sued.
I wonder if there's anything on the.
Well,
Taurus
no, I
forum
mentioned in my
about it.
video that when you do this, you're going to void your warranty, and there's no guarantee that it's not going to permanently screw up your gun. I did it because the Taurus part was inferior, and if I'm going to trust my life to this gun, I'm not going to do it to a faulty factory part, so I'll take a chance. I don't really care.
So you got a faulty aftermarket part.
Well, no, I think I got an aftermarket part they didn't properly test before they sold it to the public. That's what I think.
And then
Better way of phrasing it.
we got Chupa Miss Ballas 85 out on.
Yeah, that kind of means suck my balls a little bit in Spanish,
Yeah,
but it's yeah.
I don't know that much Spanish, but
I can translate that one for you. Yeah.
we got him on the YouTube side. So hey, how's it going? So yeah, that's good to know, Travis. It's
Like I said, we're
watch
not
out.
trying to look here. It could just be a fluke. It could just be a unique case with his, since he's done a full disassembly and a reassembly. Maybe they change that pin out when they do it at the factory. It could be a one-time use. They pop it out and they have to put a new one in because it loses whatever rigidity it has. So, but I'm going to continue using the stainless one in mine, and I'm going to keep an eye on it, see if it gets worse over time, because it's not a daily range gun. It's more of a home defense gun. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on mine.
I'll say this: that if it is a one-time use pin, that's something they should be worried about changing, because you should never put something that's a one-time use in a firearm that people are going to take apart, clean. You don't know what that firearm.
Well, yeah, those frame pins in my CPX2. I mean, they've sent me oversized ones, and I mean, people have had theirs walk out and they put them back in and they just walk right out again. So now they're sending oversized ones.
Yeah.
But I mean, I see what you're saying though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. All
That's
right.
just my opinion on it. But.
So
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about now? I think what we were going to talk about was the situation that's going on in Europe. We're going to talk specifically about what's going on in England and the fact that they've had so many just terrorist attacks in the last couple of days or the last month. And Rick wanted to jump in and give his take on it and the whole gun control thing in England, because Rick is, Rick, were you born there or did you just live there?
I was born there. My mother was English. My father was American.
I'm sorry.
I lived there. I was born there, and I lived on and off there. Let's see, for about 6 years, between the age of 0 and 15. Then when I was 15, I lived there until I was 38. So I spent most of my life there.
Wow. So if anybody doesn't know Rick does his own channel. He's got his own YouTube channel. He does Rick's Life as I See It every Saturday at 3, right?
Yeah, Eastern time, yeah.
Yeah, 3 Eastern. So you guys, everyone check him out if you haven't done so already. But going on this, Rick, when did you leave England specifically? What year? Do you remember?
Yes, I left England in 93.
Okay, so when did they institute that gun ban? Literally,
what they have now.
Yeah,
that was done in the early 2000s.
Okay,
because because I owned a shotgun when I lived in England. I didn't have it long, but I owned one for a little while. And all I had to do was get the local policeman to sign the paperwork, and I could go buy one.
Huh.
I had it for about 6 months, and I sold it.
Was that the only gun you had?
Yeah.
All right.
But you could get firearms, but it was a lot more involved than getting the license. And if you got the license, you either had to have it kept at a gun club, and if you kept it at home, you had to have a safe. No two ways about it. They wouldn't let you take it home unless you had one. your house would be checked out to see if you had it. In other words, the gun was registered too, so they know who it belonged to.
Okay.
But where it all changed was shortly after I left is the European community over there, right? And that, for years, the Prime Minister of England, Margaret Thatcher, England was always being part of the European community for years, but they refused to give up their sovereignty. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Sovereignty.
Yeah. They refused, and she fought with them for years. After she left and the new people got in, they gave it over to them. And now in Brussels, where the European government is, they control those laws now. And that's why England done that Brexit thing, because they want their shit back.
You know, they were doing the whole. I think they called it Brexit.
Yeah, and they're pulling out because they want all that. They want control of their own government. And with the terrorist attacks now, it happens anywhere. Europe, you can now travel without. It's like traveling around the United States. I don't need a passport to go to Rhode Island, to Connecticut, or Massachusetts.
Right.
And now, in Europe, you don't need. An English person does not need a passport to travel to France or to Germany. So what's happening is the refugees are coming in to Germany and stuff like that. Once they're in, they can travel wherever they want, and they come to England. You know, so there's no control over it anymore. And unfortunately, England, because I still have family that live there. That's how I know about this. Parts of London have changed so much, you wouldn't even realize it was London. It looks like you're living in the Middle East. You know? And it's not going to get any better unless they stop it. And like the last attack, the police turned and ran because the British only 10% of the British police carry guns.
Now, which situation are we talking about? Which one?
I believe he's talking about London Bridge.
The bridge.
Yeah, the London one.
Yeah, the knives attack. That one just happened a couple of days ago.
Okay, so with the bridge attack, I did hear about this too. There were English, or I guess London police officers, instead of fighting the terrorists who were stabbing people with knives with their clubs, because all London police are allowed to carry is a billy club, right?
Yeah.
They're only allowed to carry a billy club. So instead of trying to fight a terrorist with a billy club, they decided to turn tail and run just like everyone else.
I will say,
I tell you what, that gives me the greatest confidence in London's police department. The factor that their people won't even try to, protect the people, of London.
There's at least one police officer that actually did fight, and he ended up getting stabbed. So I don't want to.
Yes, there was one. I was going to bring that up.
I don't want to paint them all with a broad brush. At least one of them is brave enough to fight back.
Well, I'm not saying it's good he got stabbed. I'm just saying that if there's a bunch of you and you, instead of, doubling down and attacking them in force, what the hell's the point of being a cop if, you can't fight back, or if you don't have the proper tools or the proper weapons to fight,
I don't think they were
fight terrorists.
I don't think they were running away so much from the terrorist as they were running away because they didn't have the proper tools to fight the terrorist. From what I heard, that truck was going 50 miles an hour. They didn't have a baton is not going to save you. A taser is not going to save you if a truck is coming at you at 50 miles an hour.
Well, they don't even have tasers.
Well,
I'm surprised they don't at least have tasers. Yeah,
some of them do.
Yeah,
but that's my point. You can't expect them to fight back. 10%. You can't expect them to fight back when they don't have the ability to fight back. If someone's coming at you with a gun or a truck or they have a bomb or something, you can't fight that with a nightstick. You can't fight that with a taser. You have to fight that with equal force, which is deadly force. And that's the only way you're going to win.
If you've ever seen that video, it's probably 7 or 8 London, I think it's London police, but like British police officers, and they've confronted this guy, and I think he's got like a pipe or something. And it's just comical to see them trying to like wrestle this guy to the ground, like he's chasing him around the car, and it's just like, yeah, this guy would have been shot by our police within about 5 seconds.
Shot or tasered.
Yeah.
Shot or tasered, one or the other. I mean, when you're fighting terrorists who have no regard for human life, you can't fight it with non-lethal options. There is no put your hands up. There is no drop the weapon. There is no, well, let's try to negotiate. You can't do that with these people. This is not like this isn't a standard hostage situation that guy's robbing a bank where he doesn't want to die. These people don't care if they live or die. They don't care who they kill. You know, they're killing their own people. I mean, just today, I think it was today or yesterday, there was a bombing in Afghanistan. It killed 100 people or something. So, I mean, these aren't people you can fight with, you know, standard means. We've never seen, at least that I can think of, we've never seen anything like this.
No. You're
Well,
right.
I thought it was kind of not funny and like a haha funny, but I guess during the London's attack, one of the attackers ran to a bar and they started throwing like beer bottles and pint glasses and chairs at him. I can just imagine a bunch of drunk rugby guys just throwing shit at this terrorist.
And again, you know, I'm very happy they fought back, and I hope nobody was injured in that bar. But that, you know, you have the people disarmed. That's all they can do is fight back. But you know, that's all they can do is throw, you know, beer bottles and all that. I mean,
here's the thing. I heard that mentioned, and there are a couple nut jobs over there in England that are applauding people for throwing just everything but the bar itself at the terrorists and whatnot. But it's sad at the same time. You can applaud them for that, for fighting back, but the issue is that it's sad that all they had were chairs, tables, and bottles to throw.
Yeah, but you know the argument they're going to say is, well, if those people could get guns in the bar, then the terrorists could have gotten guns, and it would have been a lot worse. You know that's the argument they're going to use.
Oh yeah, I think they're already using that argument.
And I'm here. What I'm going to tell them is your gun control doesn't work because right before Brexit, one of your members of parliament was shot. Anyways,
that is
so your gun control doesn't work. So fuck you.
Yeah. Well, I totally agree it doesn't work, but the reality is that's the argument they're going to use, and it's hard to say that they wouldn't be correct.
Yeah, and also it's like anything. It's like over here. Once they've cut a piece of our pie, getting it back is twice as hard. So even though they're trying to fight to get their rights back, doesn't mean they're going to get them.
Nope. They'll never get their rights back.
Yeah, I highly doubt. I mean, at least not anytime soon. I mean, maybe over the next 20, 25 years, they might slowly start getting some stuff back. But I doubt, unless they get someone who's very, very pro-gun in as the prime minister, I don't think.
No, I don't think they will, because it's they're not brought up that way. Your whole life is, you know, I mean, they were the prime minister. She praised the police. They got there in 8 minutes. Wasn't that fantastic? It's not to the person that was being stabbed. That was an eternity.
Well, I mean, to use that logic, firemen got to September at the World Trade Center in under 4 minutes. That doesn't change the outcome.
That doesn't change the fact that the buildings fell on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, so they got there quickly. So they were able to die quicker. It's a moot point.
90% of police people who show up around the world, when police show up, the deed's already done.
Yep.
You know, all they're doing is clearing up the mess. I mean, for example, there was an attack in Paris today. Guy hit a policeman with a hammer. He put 2 slugs into him.
Yep.
Because they're allowed to carry over in France.
Yeah.
Because they got wise after that whole shooting at that newspaper.
Yeah. After that, they started arming people.
And I was just reading. I haven't read all the details. There was an attack in Australia today too.
Yep. And I haven't heard much about that, so I think from what I read, it was a hostage situation, and they ended up killing the attacker, and nobody was hurt, except the attacker, which I don't count. That's what I read. So, you know, I don't know if you would necessarily, this goes back to what I had said off air, and if y'all don't mind, I'll bump into it, is that I think we're using this term terrorist and terrorism too liberally now. We're quick to call everything that happens terrorism. Now, while people were terrorized, probably, but a hostage situation, nobody got hurt, no real message was sent. I mean, you can't really call that terrorism, in my opinion. I mean, You know, or if that's the case, then every time someone commits a crime, it's terrorism. You know, if someone breaks into your house, you're traumatized, you're terrorized. And I think that we're using that word a little bit too much.
The problem is that we may be using it an awful lot, but the issue is that these people are. I'm not going to say they are ISIS itself, but they have aligned. They are Islamist jihadists that have aligned themselves with ISIS. That is totally the proper way to describe these individuals. They are sick in the head, just like ISIS is. But the issue is, you know, they're in a country of which they know nothing about, and they don't realize that when you go to another country, you have to be tolerant of their culture, of their religions, and their laws. When you move to another country and you live there, you immigrate. You adopt that country's laws. You integrate and add your culture to their culture. You do not try and impose your religion, but you follow your religion.
Well, here's the difference, and here's the
that's how it's supposed to go.
Well, yeah, but like in the 40s and 50s, when everybody was immigrating over here, and Rick can probably attest to this because he moved from England to here, he wanted to come here and assimilate and be American. Would I be correct, Rick? You wanted to live in America.
Yes. Yeah.
You wanted to assimilate. You wanted to participate in society. You wanted, to make your life better for your family, I would imagine. But these people, they don't want to do that. They're leaving their cesspool of a country, because that's what it is. It's a cesspool. You can call it whatever you want. I call it a cesspool. They're leaving that, coming over here, and then they're wanting to change us to what it's like back home, because that's what they're used to. It's the same way like these people from California and New York who are moving down south, and they want us to change our laws to be like New York and California. It's the same mindset. It's that they don't want to assimilate and be like everybody that's here. They want to be who they are, and their world, the Middle Eastern world, is not compatible with the American world.
And I'm going to tell those people that come down from New York or California to South Carolina and say your laws need to be more like California. I'm going to say I'm going to put up a sign saying "Go back to California, you stupid hippie."
Well, that's exactly it. But the longer these people have in their head that and the more we accept, because whether you like to admit it or not, we are accepting these people wanting to change us, and we're allowing it.
I don't accept anyone wanting to change anyone any.
No. I'm not saying personally. I'm saying as a whole, it is happening. Whether you like to believe it, whether you like to believe it or not, it is happening. We are changing. We're allowing these people here to change, and they're changing us, and they're going to keep doing it until we put a stop to it.
And that's what's happened in Europe.
Yep.
They've gone into England and they've changed it to what they want. There's parts of England now that basically the police don't even go down there.
Doesn't England have like 5 or 6 Sharia courts now? Someone mentioned that earlier.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, it really is, whether you like to believe it or not, if we continue down this road of allowing refugees in, not vetting people, and whoever, and I don't know if you all believe this or not, but I can tell you this from personal knowledge, there is no such thing as vetting refugees.
No, there isn't.
There's no such thing as it. You come from. Let me put it to you this way: if you were on a stranded island and somebody rescued you, there would be no record of you on that island. But yet, this country's going to vet you. That's basically how the whole refugee thing is working. There's no record of these people. They're just coming over and saying whatever name they want, and saying, "Oh yeah, that's me," and that's their vetting process. So we can't vet these people, and the more we keep letting them in, and if we continue to let them in, we are going to end up, unfortunately, like London, like France, like Germany, and the rest. And it brings me no pleasure in saying that, but that's just the truth.
And I hate to say it like this, but if we let people like that may have those tendencies to align with ISIS and be Islamic terrorists themselves, I am gonna say this, and I know you guys are gonna get shit and you're gonna downvote it, but at least give us a comment or why you do it. But the issue is, I don't want them coming into my country. I don't want them coming into your country, our country. I don't want them going into anyone's country if all they're going to do is just live there for a few days and then decide, oh, hey, since I'm completely deranged in the head, I'm going to go and kill someone because some guy in the Middle East in ISIS said I should.
Another thing we have to combat, another thing we have to figure out is what's causing somebody to get in their head this idea to go out and hurt people. Because if you look at all these terrorists, none of them are, well, I don't want to say none, but I have yet to see one that is a hardworking participant in society who grows up with a family, you know, who has no previous issues and just one day decides to start killing people. I have yet to see a terrorist like that just snaps.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to bring up the San Bernardino people.
What about them? They weren't hardworking, and
they had steady jobs.
I never heard that.
They went and fired on their workplace.
Yeah,
it's the ideology. It's like the one true way to get into heaven, according to I think the Quran or one of their books, is to die in jihad. And
well, they certainly, if jihad means getting shot 100 times by police, they certainly did.
Yeah, you know, and the thing is, they call us infidels. The object is to get rid of us. That's the way they're brought up. Unfortunately, that's where the American government goes wrong. So we go to all these different countries and we try to push our ideology on these other countries. They don't want us. The Middle East don't want us there. They don't want our American ideas. They want to be the way they are. And I say, fucking leave them there.
Yeah, I said to nuke them about 5 or 6 years ago, but that still stands. I mean, I haven't changed that opinion.
You know, if you want to use that methodology, I've been saying this for years that we should have just nuked the Middle East after we nuked Japan after World War II and saved us a hell of a lot of trouble. We should have nuked North Korea as well before they became what they did.
I don't
know. Like with MacArthur, what he said that we should nuke North Korea and eastern half of China, right after World War II when the Korean conflicts happened. But he got fired, and he wasn't demoted, but he was fired and removed from his position because he said that.
Yep.
Because they didn't want to start another war. They didn't want to use the nuke on anybody because by that point, Russia already had nukes.
If you nuke somebody, you're not going to start another war. There's not going to be anybody left to fight.
Yeah. But at that point, the Russians already had nuclear capabilities, so they didn't want to start a nuclear war. That's why they didn't do that. But and I know, Next Track, you're saying very controversial things. Well, you know what? We're in America. I'm expressing my First Amendment right, the right to free speech, and whether I'm right or wrong, that's on me.
I don't think it's controversial at all. I think it's right on.
But honestly, it's ridiculous that we even have to have a conversation like this about this particular set of people because I guess they aren't taught how to behave properly.
No, they're not. Well, here's the thing. If you're raised from 7 or 8 years old to, okay, you got to kill these people. They don't think like we do. They're different than we are. You got to kill these people. You got to kill these people. That's all you're going to believe. It's not going to matter. It's basically, and I hate to use this comparison, but it's like being a racist almost. You're raised from children. You got to hate this person. You got to hate this person. You got to hate this person. It's the same mentality. If I'm raised from 6, 7, 8 years old that I have to kill these people, I hate these people, I got to blow these people up, and I'll get into heaven if I do it. I mean, by 2022, 23, if you can't really expect them to say, "Oh no, that's wrong," because they're not taught any different.
Yeah.
And that's just the mentality. It's you can't. There's just no way to fix it.
Just get conditioned to it. You're almost brainwashed.
Yep. Well, that's exactly what it is. It is brainwashing. The women are brainwashed into thinking they're nothing, and they can only do this, that, and the other. Men go out, take the kids, and teach them how to blow things up, and that's just their way of life. I mean, and
Right.
you know what? Tell you the truth, if they stayed in the Middle East and were only blowing up each other in the Middle East, I'd say let them do it. Let them have at it, and that's their problem. But now we're letting them into other parts of the world, and that's why we're having this issue. Because think about it. Like I just said, in Afghanistan, I believe it was. It could have been somewhere else, but I believe it was Afghanistan. 100 people or something were killed in a bomb. Okay, you know, we don't talk about that like we talk about Paris, like we talk about San Bernardino, like we talk about Orlando. We don't talk about it like that because it's like, you know, okay, it happens there. You know, and if it was just happening there, it was just happening to those people. I'd say, you know, leave them alone. You know, you got to deal with your own problems. But we've let this.
I think we're doing it. I think we're doing it wrong because honestly, let's be honest. We're still fighting in Afghanistan. Okay, we still have troops stationed there. They've used a Moab on one of those caves, but the Moab's not enough. I'm thinking, you know, maybe we need to go further back in our arsenal and pull out Agent Orange, or maybe we have to pull out, you know, firebombing and just firebomb every city that these backwater, I guess, Muslim terrorists or Islamic terrorists are occupying, or in Iraq or wherever they are, and just firebomb the shit out of them. You know, glass the Middle East.
We got to stop letting them out of the Middle East. That's the first thing. We got to keep them there, keep them isolated, and just start wiping them out. Go through there.
Firebomb the troublemakers. Turn their towns into glass. See how they like it then.
Yep.
Fucking glass.
That's the only way, because what I think our problem is, and if I'm talking too much, guys, please feel free to jump in.
No, you're good. Just keep going. I mean, I'm saying controversial things right now, but the thing is, I'm tired of us losing a war that probably should have never been declared in the first place. I'm tired of us having to deal with assholes like this all the damn time. I'm tired of hearing it in countries that don't even mean jack to the normal United States citizen. We don't care about Europe. We don't care about Africa. We don't care about the Middle East. We only care about the United States of America.
So I wouldn't say that. I do care about the people, because the people there don't ask for this. At least most of them don't. I mean, there are some of these morons who let them in, the refugee, whatever bullshit. This mentality, we've been trying to fight a war for at least the last 8 years diplomatically. We'll put sanctions on them. We'll tough talk this. But these people, they don't understand that. You can't fight a war with people who want to kill you by trying to be nice to them. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, look at our last guy. Draw the line in the sand. They stepped over it. Not a fucking thing was done.
Yeah, you know, you just keep letting them do it.
No. All he did was, you know, institute sanctions, which, you know, okay. Let's be honest. The whole liberal idea of putting sanctions on a government hasn't worked for the last 30 or 40 fucking years with North Korea. What do you think's gonna do what's gonna happen when you put sanctions on a country like Russia?
They put sanctions, but you can't enforce them. Two.
But then you have the goddamn snowflakes over here going, "Oh, the poor children are suffering because of this."
Well, and two, the problem is ISIS doesn't care. They'll just go into another town, and they'll get what they want.
No, absolutely.
You know, okay, we'll put a sanction on. We won't let oil into Baghdad anymore. Let's say.
I'm angry, Snidley. That's why I'm yelling.
Just Baghdad. I know there's not sanctions on Baghdad, but I'm just using that because that's a city right off the top of my head. I can think of. Okay, we put sanctions on Baghdad. We won't let oil in there. Well, they'll go to somewhere else. They'll go to Pakistan, get the oil there, ship it in. So what are the sanctions doing? Their sanctions aren't doing anything. You know, and those cities are probably a bad example to use, but you get my point. Is they're just going to,
I mean, North Korea. North Korea cannot buy oil from anywhere, but they can buy it from the Chinese. The Chinese sell it to them.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they get their oil. You know, because nobody else is going to sell it to them.
Nope. But they don't seem to be having trouble.
Yeah.
But they're threatening to fire on Hawaii and California, and I'm like, yeah, if you guys really have nukes, you got a problem.
That's another thing. They have all this weapon, all these weapons. Well, how'd they get them? They had to get them from China because nobody else is selling them weapons.
If you looked at their weapons, they have weapons from like the 1970s and 60s. They don't have anything modern.
Well, I mean, it'll still work.
Yeah, they're using AK-47s. I mean, they're still going to work.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not going to work, but I mean, I wouldn't trust the Scud missile from the 70s or the 60s.
I'm talking about the firearms.
I mean, look at some of our weapons. Look at some of our weapons. We got to go to museums to get the parts to fix them.
Yep. I mean, you could. They may have AK-47s that are from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, but hell, they still work. An AK-47 from 1980s, firing that's going to hit you just as hard as an AK-47 made last week. Not different.
Well, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, they show all their might on TV and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like watching an episode of MASH.
It's like watching an episode of MASH.
It is,
watching a Cold War documentary because most of their shit is from 40, 50 years ago. It's not even North Korea still uses the SKS as well as the AK.
They put those big Estes rockets on those trucks and try to make paint them green.
It was like that statement I made this afternoon night's right, where I was going about the 45 cartridge. Everybody says it's too slow. I still ain't seen nobody outrun it yet. That's the same thing with their old equipment they got.
And as I said, I've never heard of any Nazis or any Japanese outrunning, the 45 ACP in World War II. Yeah. So I don't see why it's a bad round. People love to knock it just because they want to knock something.
Yeah, but where I'm going with the equipment that North Koreans got, it will still work. It will still kill.
Oh yeah.
But we're getting off topic, so let's double back. We're talking about these Islamic terrorists that are fighting in. They're going in. They're causing the world strife, and I guess what they're trying to do is they're trying to whittle the world down to either doing what they want or they're going to piss the world off so much on them that the world is going to say, you know what, get rid of Islam, period. Because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. They piss off every country to the point to where they don't want Islam in their country. It won't be in their country because unlike the United States where you have freedom of religion and you have freedom, period, you don't have that in everywhere else in other parts of the world. It just ain't there.
Nope. Well, I don't know a hell of a lot about the Muslim religion, so correct me if I'm wrong, slap me if I'm wrong, whatever. But their whole ideology is it has to be this way. Oh, sorry. It has to be our way or no way. There's no assimilating.
No, you're right.
It's not like being a Catholic and a Lutheran. We may have different beliefs and different ideology, but we could still come together and say, okay, we do believe, in this one big figure.
I don't know. Is what's in that? What is it? The Quran? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's their religious. That's their Bible.
Well, what's in there? That is the law. No matter what, there's no leeway whatsoever. And if you don't follow it, I mean, they throw goes back. We're getting off topic again, but you're homosexual. You're gay to throw you off the top of a building.
Well, that's another thing that
if you're a woman and you cheated on your husband, they stone you to death. That's all. They claim that's all written in that Bible. I don't know. I never read it, so I wouldn't
read the damn thing either. But and it always interests me when the Democrats are like, yeah, well, we got to assimilate. We got to do this, that, or the other. It's like, well, that doesn't really work. How could you be for that? But
now,
also for
here's a good one. All the time I lived in England, right? I'm using it as an example. Is everybody says they got to assimilate to. We keep saying that. Now, if I go live, maybe it's the English in me that say this. if I go choose to live in France, right? I better learn how to speak French because they sure ain't speaking fucking English to me.
Yep, that's for
Well, they do if you're a tourist.
The saying goes, when in Rome, you do what the Romans do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the problem. That's not happening because of our goddamn liberals. Okay, no, let them do what they want, you know. Got to take care of them. Fuck them. Take care of me.
Yeah, that's all their multiculturalism BS they like to push.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
they can keep their sanctuary cities, their sanctuary counties, their sanctuary states. I don't want them.
I don't either. You know, but just real quick before we change back to England, there was an advertisement they put out to handle terrorism.
Oh, this will be good.
Happening. Hide. 2, call 999. That's our 911. Right? 3, if you can't hide, run. That's how you fight. That's how you fight terrorism in England. They take, you know, please, come on.
Yeah. That's another thing. Have you? They are allowed to have certain specialized versions of pistols in England, but the issue is they don't even look like pistols anymore. And at that point, they're only allowed 22s. They can only have rimfire. They can't have center fire.
Yeah.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Hey, that's just the way it is.
And the only rimfire they can have is 22, technically.
Well, they don't have a Bill of Rights.
I don't think you can even own that at home. Don't you have to have it you have to be part of a shooting club or
You have
they have to be locked up there. You can't take them with you.
Yeah.
And yet Northern Ireland has way less restrictive gun rights, and they don't seem to have those issues.
Well, it's because
they're drunk all the time.
Isn't Northern Ireland the Catholic Ireland?
No, I'm just talking about their gun rights. Their gun ownership is way more lax. They allow people to have handguns. And
even though it's been under peace for the last 18, 19 years, it's still very volatile.
But if you look at their crime statistics, they're actually basically on par with the UK or a little bit lower than England, you know. But yeah, no, I hear you. I'm not talking about the past. I'm just saying now, if you look at their crime statistics, they're either pretty much the same or less than what you have in England.
Yeah, and back to what we were saying at the very beginning is that's the way for all those years I lived and didn't think anything about it until I moved back here and actually started seeing what freedoms that I actually got that I didn't realize
from your father.
You know, that I didn't have.
You didn't have. So, what was the biggest eye opener for you, Rick, when you came to the States?
Biggest eye opener was the freedom to basically, like, believe it or not, was being able to own a gun.
Okay.
You know, keep it in my house anytime I wanted. But I didn't get into gun, but still, I still had that mentality for at least another 15 years while I lived here. That, you know, the police are going to protect me. Or something like that. I mean, as you all see me on screen, I'm a big old boy. In my day, I could take care of myself. Now that it all changed when I got hurt. You know? And I'm thinking, if somebody comes after me, I cannot move. I'm dead. And that's what made me change. You know?
Absolutely.
Now, if I was in England, hell, I'm dead.
if you were in England, they would be cleaning up after you.
Yeah.
But that's the point where that it's even becoming like this here in the United States, where you know the police aren't catching anybody in the act of or catching them before they do something wrong, you know, because they are in the process of doing it. They haven't done it yet. You know, they're not catching anybody like that or on preemption. They're only cleaning up after the fact. And let's be honest, you know what the average turnaround time here in the United States for a police call? What? For them to arrive?
Is it 8 minutes? That's what a lot of guys are mentioning in the chat, but
it's I think it's like somewhere between 8 and 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Yeah, 8 and 15 minutes is nice, but as we said before with the thing in England, it took them 8 minutes to get there, but the fact is they still ran away. So what's the point if they're there in 8 minutes, yet they have to run away because they're not properly equipped? And the thing, and even though our cops are properly equipped, they have guns and they can defend themselves and they can protect others that can't because they don't have guns. Because not everybody has a gun. Not that I don't advocate that if you can own a gun, you should own a gun. I advocate that. If you can, you should have some sort of protection for yourself because let's be honest, the world is not a safe place. And lately it's proven that it's not getting any safer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I made a video the other day saying the same thing about where I live up here in Rhode Island, being little town America. I mean, my neighbors, they walk off, leave the door open, unlocked, because that's the way it's been here. But you can see on the outskirts, for lack of, I use this in the video. I don't want to sound like I'm profiling racist, but we have certain parts outside of town that are, unsavory areas. The problem is that's getting closer and closer to town. So, and crime is starting to pick up a little more, car stealing, breaking and entering, that kind of stuff. Those crimes are starting to build here now.
Well, Rick, you also have to look at it in the northeastern part of the United States. You're literally one small state surrounded by a bunch of states that are ultra liberal.
Oh, absolutely.
And the problem is that liberals themselves have hard-ons and are advocates of criminals and helping the criminals out, getting them out of jail, letting them run amok, but never enforcing laws on them, like, stacking laws upon stacking charges on them because, they already got caught with this illegal thing, so we don't need to give them a gun charge, even though they were found and arrested with a gun on them. And they're a criminal and they shouldn't have one in the first place. And that's the problem. Liberals don't see criminals as criminals. They see them as something else, probably one of their own, most likely. But
I was going to say probably a potential voter.
Yeah. Like I go out to this restaurant every morning to have breakfast. It's a real dive, but I like it.
Okay.
But they're all Democrats in there, and I argue with them every day over Trump.
Good man.
Good man.
And the owner knows I carry, right? And he got all upset about it. He says, "Well, he says I don't want that in here." I said, "Well, one, you don't even know I'm wearing it unless I tell you, and I'm not going to tell you." I said, two, in the state of Rhode Island, you can put a sign up. I don't have to follow it. The only thing you can ask me to leave, and the only thing you can get me for is trespassing. But I said, as your friend, you told me not to wear this gun in here. You lost my business forever. And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm not putting my life in your hands."
Yeah.
There you go. Mic drop, buddy. That's it right there.
What is your carry gun? I'm just curious now.
What?
All right.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's the thing. That proves another point because I was having a discussion with Tony the other day, Artisan Tony. Everyone knows him.
Yes, we do.
I was having a discussion with him the other day, and it's just the factor that he was mentioning that law, which if you're in a place of business like that, and you aren't, they have a sign up saying they don't want you to carry in there. They are responsible for anything that happens in that shop. So if some criminal comes in and starts shooting people because he's robbing the place, or he just wants to mass murderer or be a mass murderer, the owners are responsible for that happening. So they're going to get their ass sued if someone dies.
That's state by state, isn't it?
It's only certain. That's by state. That's not a federal law.
Yeah, this is state by state. This is specifically a law in Tennessee. But the issue is, I believe that more states in the United States of America should adopt a law similar to that.
I don't disagree.
Because the factor is, you cannot put your life in somebody else's hands and then get hurt or possibly killed, and they have no repercussions. They get no repercussions for that. That is wrong. That is morally wrong. That is wrong religiously, in my belief. But I mean, what the hell?
No, I agree.
Did y'all hear, talking about going back to the London thing, that one of the London Bridge attackers was actually on a documentary called The Jihadist Next Door?
Yeah.
I heard that. I couldn't confirm it, so I didn't want to.
So they were already watching him.
Yeah.
They couldn't just go and arrest him or hold him for a few days saying,
Nope.
What the hell?
Hey, you haven't done anything wrong. It's the same way in this country. So you're not guilty until you actually commit a crime. I know it's frustrating, but
I'm face palming and sighing right now. All right, so
let's get off this topic. Let's talk about something else. Does anybody out there in the chat have any questions, gun questions? Any type of questions we can talk about other than this? Because I think I'm tired of it. It's getting to me.
Gun Channels is AWOL, so I guess you're gonna have to go to YouTube. Everybody's snoozing on Gun Channels.
Everybody out there in YouTube land, you guys got some questions? Got some ideas of things for us to talk about? Anything would be appreciated, please.
Yeah, I think we talked about the terrorism thing to death now.
Yeah. No, we're not going to discuss that, Steadley.
What is that?
Cheaper than dirt?
No, we're not discussing that.
What they do now.
Okay. Angry mentioned what's everyone carrying? Okay, so I don't carry, but if I do put my 1911 in my glove box when I go out because I can. So I don't want to pay for it right now.
Can I ask why you don't carry?
I don't want to pay for it right now.
Okay, fair enough.
It's usually because I am always on a budget. It's the point of either buy. It comes into I can go and waste the whole day for the class and pay the amount of money for it, and not being able to buy the gun I was been saving for. So
it's expensive to get a license there.
It's not expensive, but it's not cheap either. It's not like Texas where it's now down to $40.
Yeah.
Night Strike just doesn't want to be on a list.
Yes, and I don't want to give them my fingerprints with a Y.
Yeah, but then again, you sort of. At least you can carry in your car.
Yeah, you get car carry. Yeah. Now, you guys, Matt, what do you carry?
I usually open carry Glock 19. Sometimes I'll be fancy and I'll carry my 228. But I live in Durham now, and Durham you're likely to get just robbed if you're open carrying. So
yeah. And Rick mentions Rick, you said you carried a Glock.
No, I don't carry a Glock. I don't want to do all the modifications.
What's your carry gun again?
I carry a M&P 45 full size.
Okay, it's just an M&P. Okay.
Damn.
Well, if that new law passes Night Strike, you can just move up here, and you won't have to fill out any paperwork or pay money.
And I won't have to fill out a purchase permit either.
Well, they removed that part of the law, but there's two other.
Well, then I'm not moving up there because that's a deal breaker for me because I'm not going to go and ask for permission for something I want to buy. There is no fucking way. I mean, do you need to go and get permission from the government to buy a car? You need to get permission from the government to buy a house?
You don't need permission to buy the car, but you need permission to drive the car.
To drive it, yeah.
No,
you got to register
hold on. That's to drive it. But do you need permission to go out and buy lunch from the government?
Not yet.
I think you're taking it a little bit too far, but
Well, I may be, but that's my point. I don't have to ask my government for permission to do anything,
Not yet.
and I don't believe I should. So, anyways,
I mean,
Tino,
I agree with you on that. It's an old Jim Crow law that should be removed because it's racist in its intent, and
well, all gun control is racist, but we don't want to
why
go
the
down.
Democrats don't jump on it, I just don't know.
We're not going down that route. So,
Who's next on the carry here?
Tino, what do you carry?
Sig P229,
What caliber?
9mm.
Well,
Will I get a 227?
Well, I'm not going to say anything.
well, Tino, I'll say this. At your eulogy, I will say I knew you well.
Who said you're invited?
Well, someone has to be there to piss on your grave.
Oh, there'll be plenty of people to do that. There'll be a line. It'd be like the Publix deli.
Yeah, I was gonna go and get in line just for you.
It'll be number 272.
Hey, I'll wait all day if I have to. And I am just kidding, everyone. It's just the factor that it's Tino. All right, Travis, what do you carry? Do you carry that PT with?
No, I appendix carry. I appendix carry a high point 45.
No,
Oh,
no,
man, I'm joking.
no. I forgot. Everyone, Travis, he goes and he carries that Sky pistol that he loves so much that works just so well on him.
Not anymore. I carried it for 3 years, man, and not
anymore.
The
high point over that Sky thing.
Yeah, I would too. The Sky is running well. Just to give everybody an update, I did get the new slide barrel guide rod spring combo, and it runs fine. It doesn't have the FTE issues anymore. So no.
What about the magazine?
No, the magazine's fine. The new magazines work just fine. I just did 50 rounds, and it had not one. I couldn't even do that before. I was getting at least one FTE per mag before, if not two. And it was so bad at one point. It was like every round, and it didn't matter what magazine I was using. So it's fine now, but I don't trust it anymore. So no. No, I do concealed carry. I've got a car CT9, and I carry a second mag with me. It's just A+1.
Right.
Chambered in 9mm. I pack critical defense.
Awesome.
I figured that'll probably do the job. I mean, I might. Oh, and then in the wintertime, actually, in the wintertime, I'll sometimes when we're traveling on the road and stuff, I'll do a shoulder holster with a Glock 17.
All right.
Say, Arctic has a question in the gun channel side. What do you bring to the range minus guns, ammo, and ear pro or eye pro? Like, what other things do you bring?
Ammunition.
Wait, no, hold on. Like, what do we take aside from our guns and ammo, or what?
Yeah, for going to the gun range.
I grab my sight and clean box, because if I don't take my lead sled, I'll take that, because the clean box has everything I need to fix a major malfunction in my semi-auto rifles and my pistols, because I've been out at the range before and had a range day ended by a stuck case, and I could not get anything to bang the spent shell out with. So now at least, and in that sight and clean case, I carry a full cleaning kit, a couple cans of CLP, rem oil, patches.
Right.
I carry everything I would need to work on the gun, to disassemble the gun completely in the field and reassemble it, punches, and it's completely contained in the box, so it's not like it's stuff falling everywhere. So
what about you, Tino?
That pretty much does it.
I honestly take the guns, take the ammunition, and that's about it. I mean, the guns I take, I've never had any issues with them. I don't see a need to take stuff to clean them, stuff to take them apart. I mean, I've never had any issues with them. So.
What about?
I had one, and it ruined my day. So after that, I just grab it on the way out and throw it in the back of the vehicle. But yeah,
Rick, what do you normally take to the range with you?
I take a small cleaning kit with me. I normally don't use it, but it's more in case somebody else needs it, really. And I'll use it if I need it. So I do that. I also take a tourniquet I got in my bag, and one of them clotting things.
Quick clot?
In case somebody shoots themselves.
Okay.
I can, try to stop the bleeding and stuff. So I have a little first aid kit. And that's about it. I think that's, yeah. Oh, and I got a couple of tools just in case, with a knife basically with a screwdriver on the end type thing.
All right.
Or like a multi-tool thrown in there.
Awesome. Matt, what do you take to the range with you besides, the norm?
Usually I'll take some spare earplugs just for some reason if I leave my ear pro at home, and I got a small little cleaning kit and like a mag loader, and that's about it. And a chamber flag, because you never know, some ranges want you to have a chamber flag.
All right. So if everyone listening, if you don't know already, I shoot in my backyard because I have the ability to do so, and I don't need permission to do it. It's just the thing you do in the South when you have county land. Okay? I don't go to the range, so I just go in the backyard. What I bring with me, it's more like what Travis does. I don't really bring too much first aid stuff on with me because it's not that far away from the house. But I can see why I should probably bring it with me, and I might bring just, a bare minimum first aid kit with me next time. But normally I just bring, some tools if I need to work on it like Travis does. And then just, myself. Sometimes I might bring a camera out to try and take video, but, I tried that the last couple times and it hasn't worked out too well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, my vehicle's like 50 feet away from me when I'm shooting. I always have a full med kit and a bug out box in the vehicle. So I mean, I got more stuff that I take, probably more than I need to take, but you never know.
Well, I take the tractor out there. So
yeah, there you go. There you go. You take the tractor, you take the Jeep, same difference.
You take the Jeep. I take my Ford 1710. So there you go.
Yeah,
that works.
I've never had a need to take more to the range. It's usually just me, so it's kind of hard to carry a bunch of stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So I usually just take the guns and box. I have at Harbor Freight. You've probably seen them. Those big steel case boxes. I have one of those with the foam in it. I put what I want to take in there, close it up. I have an ammo can that I put the boxes in, and that's about it.
I'm thinking about getting one of those.
I've got one of those like 3 rifle cases coming in the mail that have the zippers on 2 different sides. They're the real long ones with like the backpack straps on them. There's a million YouTube videos on those, but those are pretty slick. So you got pockets and pouches for everything. So you could throw everything in one bag. That's what I'm planning on doing, because right now I'm taking like probably 3 to 4 different bags with me on top of my range box, because I got the Hearing Pro, the target bag, all that stuff, plus all my camera equipment when I film.
My issue is with a bunch of zippers and stuff. I forget what I put in them. Like I have a
yeah.
that I put together like 2 years ago, and I change the stuff every couple of months. But I still, to this day, don't. I have actually a list of. I have like the zippers numbered, and I have a list of where everything is, because I still can't remember because I don't use it enough.
Oh yeah.
To remember. So I mean, if I had something like that, I'd probably end up leaving guns and zippers. Just be a mess.
All right. So that's what we bring to the range with us, and I think we'll call it there.
I did forget to mention my gun bag's on wheels. I got a handle. I put it. Like what those people take to on the planes.
Rick has to one up everyone by saying my gun bag is on wheels. Well, there you go, Rick.
That's actually not a bad idea.
I remember I'm walking with a cane.
Well, I know. I'm just giving you. I'm just poking fun at you, Rick.
Yeah.
See, I just have my chauffeur carry my guns for me.
Oh, right.
Yeah, okay. These damn 1%ers.
All right. So thank you all for listening. Hopefully we'll do better next week. If you didn't like the video, go ahead, I guess, give us a thumbs down. But if you do so, give us a comment on the video of why you didn't like it so we can do better next time. Okay, if you like the video, still comment anyways, because damn it, we need the input. If you have a suggestion or an idea or a topic for the show, please send us an email. That's nightstrike1@gmail.com. NIGHTSTRYKE1@gmail.com. So with that, I am Nightstrike, and this was Hit or Miss.
Bye, Felicia.